Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. This is the latest in what I'm calling the Tough Problems series. In each of these little talks, I present two composite questions that my clients face and my response to each. Dear Dr. Nemko, my boss, I'll call him Damien, is a micromanager. Most of us are good workers and would do better if he just left us alone. But he's always monitoring us, requiring daily progress reports. Plus, he walks around endlessly querying us about how we're doing our work and making suggestions that often are wrong or at least suboptimal. I can't imagine how he got promoted to manager. As a group, we've gone to his boss, who obliquely says that he can't do anything about Damien, but didn't say why. I'm scared to quit because I'm afraid he'd give me a bad reference. Help. Well, here's my response. Might either of these work? Propose an experiment? Have you, as a group, tactfully offered feedback to Damien, whether verbally or probably better in writing, so he has time to recover from the natural defensiveness before considering your input? Don't just complain, propose an alternative. For example, hi Damien, we appreciate that you so diligently manage us. We're wondering if we might try an experiment that could make your life and ours easier. You've given us a lot of feedback. Might this be a time to let us try to incorporate it more fully into our work without much additional input or reporting? Perhaps we could try that for a week, and then in our next staff meeting, you would tell us how you think the experiment's going. Or you might do a root cause analysis. Micromanaging is just the symptom, but what's the root cause in Damien's case? For example, might it be insecurity, believing that bosses need a boss? Or does he have a suspicious nature? He won't be wearing a sign listing the cause or causes, so try to stay alert to what he says and how. If you decide he's insecure, try praising him. There's no need to lie. Even bad bosses do some things right. Catch him doing something right and say, for example, good point, or merely thank you. If you decide a root cause of his micromanaging is that he believes that micromanaging is what good managers do, anonymously slip an article on the topic on his desk when he's not there. There's one in the Harvard Business Review, and you can find it by just Googling micromanaging and the term Harvard Business Review. You'll find it. If you think he's suspicious that employees will be shirkers unless micromanaged, at least for a while, not only don't complain about the micromanagement, ask him for more input and give him more progress reports. That could engender trust. The second question is, Dear Dr. Nemko, at work I'm on a 3-person team and one is a nightmare. One person is. Not only does she do little work and what she does is poor, she makes inferior suggestions, and when we politely, tactfully reject them, she claims we're being sexist and threatens to go to HR, which scares us, because we think HR tends to assume sexism. We're not being sexist. Both of us, and one of us is a woman, have looked inward, discussed it, and we are absolutely convinced that her ideas often really are bad, bad, bad. The problem is serious enough that the work that our team produces is less than it could be. That's demoralizing. Plus, our pay and promotions are dependent on the team's performance. We went to the boss and he said he would do what he can, but there's been no improvement. What can we do? Here was my response. Might one or more of these help? Be instructive. Perhaps your rejection of her ideas has been tactful but not instructive. For example, having just said, thanks, but I think X might be a better idea. Instead, each time she makes a poor suggestion or submits a bad work product to the group, in a face-saving way explain why there might be a better idea. My guess is that she'll grow from such specific feedback, or at least be less insistent of her ideas and work products' value. Should you reach out to HR? Of course, one of HR's roles is to address claims of sexism, but it seems unlikely that they'll assume it's present when, as you assert, it's so clearly not. And there's usually someone in HR who's been trained in mediation and otherwise dealing with such matters. And especially if both you and your other team member go to HR, reprisals against you are unlikely. Or should you encourage her to transfer or quit? You might tactfully address it with her. For example, I know you're unhappy in our work group. I'm wondering if you might find a better suited group within or outside the organization. What do you think? And a final option is acceptance. You haven't mentioned dissatisfaction with your other teammate, nor with the work, so you might be wise to try, and it's easier said than done, to accept the situation, to try to not let it get to you. Of course, if you decide that the benefits of leaving might outweigh the benefits of staying, you might at least quietly query your network about other job possibilities. In any event, I thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko. I welcome your thumbs up, accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments. I love it when you hit the share button below and share it on your social media so that my efforts have broader impact, and I'm flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. And in any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.